They tried to nerf it, but we just formed Super Germany as Austria and got the highest GDP in the world by mega industrializing in just the first few years. If we get 3,000 likes in this video, we'll do the second part where we conquer all of Europe, and I mean all of Europe, and creating a mega economy in the process. Also, if you enjoy the content, consider subscribing and make sure to use my code if you want to get the DLC for yourself. I would really appreciate it. With the changes in the 1.10 National Awakening patch and DLC, Austria has actually become one of the most fun and overpowered nations to play as. Whilst initially we start with half of our country broken away from us as junior partners in Croatia, Slavonia, Hungary, and Transylvania, if we play our cards right, not only do we instantly annex all of those back, if that's what we choose, or we can establish a dual monarchy, that's an option too, but eventually we can do Super Germany and even Central Europe without any sort of an issue. Heck, we can even do the Danubian states. So let's just say the beginning as Austria can be pretty challenging, but if you navigate it properly, it is an absolute blast playing as this nation in this patch, in my opinion. They did an amazing job with it, with the flavor pack, and I hope to see one for Prussia in the future. That'll be awesome to see. Now we have some issues here. First off, our subjects are extremely disloyal, with the emphasis on the Hungarian crown. They are the most disloyal of all, and we can actually fix that. We just need to increase our army size a tiny little bit. We have the option of establishing the dual monarchy. The only thing we need to do in order for that to happen is increase the autonomy of Hungary, and then we can instantly establish dual monarchy, which integrates Transylvania, Slavonia, Krakow, and we essentially get the Hungarians as equal partners if we don't want to integrate the crownlands. Historically, this is what actually happened. The reason why historically the dual monarchy was established was because Austrian Empire was extremely divided from an ethnical perspective, and having Hungarians basically rule half of the empire made it easier for the Austrian side of the empire to just control the Italians, Czechs, Poles, Slovenes under their direct ownership, whilst the Hungarians dealt with the Romanians, Slovaks, Croats, and so on. And by giving Hungarian, the second largest ethnic group in the empire, equal footing to the Germans, they had a few million less pops to deal with that would have otherwise liked to become a secessionist nation, right? Now, going down the dual monarchy path is definitely not bad. It is very easy. It's the easy approach, but we're gonna do the integrate the crownlands path because we like hard stuff. It sounds a bit weird when you say it out like that. Now, the matter of Hungary does give us radicals from political movement, and radicals increase for the first three stratas of our society, so we got to do this fast. We got to do this really fast. That means we're going to be improving relations first off with all three of these nations. We're going to need more influence points to do so. We're going to get some more rivals. Ottomans, of course, the Dutch, the Spaniards. Everybody hates the Spaniards, right? Clearly in the Austrian Empire. There you go. Now we have enough to improve relations. First technology we're going for is nationalism for a variety of reasons. Then we can follow that up with a little bit of industrial technologies. We also need to make sure we change our production methods to the more optimal ones, such as standardized filing cabinet, which means we have 480 bureaucracy instead of the basically nothing that we had before. The cool part is we also start with public schools, so we have an education system, which means we will have the option of assimilating pops a little bit faster. We also have certain legislation that are unique to the Austrians, such as serfdom was replaced by manorialism, which is basically serfdom, but the aristocracy gets less political strength compared to actual serfdom. Subjecthood is the new citizenship law on the block, and the way this works is as long as a pop is within its own homeland, it's less discriminated against. In essence, they get plus 30 acceptance, which is a huge deal, but we obviously want to go towards at least cultural exclusion or multiculturalism as we progress in the campaign. Crownland diet also is a unique Austrian law replacing hereditary bureaucracy. It increases political strength of the aristocrats, and it disallows professional bureaucrats for government administration. Now we can actually change our government from day one, and we can bring the land folk into it, which means we can potentially go for homesteading from the very start of the campaign. Now we also have a really unique company, Mantero Seta, which is based in Lombardy and produces the Como silk, which is a unique prestige good. It gives synthetic plants throughput and prestige plus 5%. It's a really good company, but we don't want that right now. Instead, we want the Witzkowitz Bergbau Skibidi Wibidi, which gives construction sector throughput, power plant throughput, and it affects a lot of the buildings we're very much so interested in, or even the Ernst Brunner Manchne Fabric. I hope I pronounced that a little bit better, but probably not. To get either of these, we just need to have level 5 tooling workshops for this one, or coal mine and iron mine for the other one in Moravia, Upper Silesia, or in Moravia for this one in particular. So we're going to be doing that. We're going to try and spam 5 tooling workshops in here as soon as possible. Getting a good company early on makes a massive difference in a campaign, in my opinion. We're also going to need a steel mill, and we're going to have to also change to iron frame production methods, our construction sector. So we're going to have some big shortages now of a lot of things, really. So we're going to have to spam some items. We're going to have to queue some of these bad boys even before the tooling workshop. So we're going to do 2 paper mills, a couple of coal mines too. We've got a decent amount of iron mines for now, so that should be fine. We cannot expand the gold mines until rolled. That would have been awesome. I'm also going to be taxing the shit out of my population because I need the money. We start with 2.2 million principal debt. We want to fix that. Government wages on very low, military wages on very low. And speaking of, we will need to increase our army size considerably. Right now, we have very few soldiers. We're going to upgrade them to the latest technology, and we're going to get a lot more line infantry from our main Austrian areas. Also going to start improving relations with my neighbors. And heck, I'm also going to add some taxes. Everybody loves taxes, right, guys? If you don't love taxes, maybe you need to start loving taxes. This is basically what my construction queue looks like right now. Once we pay off a little bit of our debt, we can also start increasing the amount of construction sectors we have. We also have 0 infamy, so we need to fix that clearly by attacking the Swiss, the oldest of independent Germans, which far too long have they been independent for, let's face it. Reason we're attacking them is because I don't want the French or the Prussians or anybody else getting this land. I'm going to be a little bit aggressive with my expansion in this campaign. Okay, so we failed homesteading. I don't know, I guess we could try per capita taxation, see if that passes. It would be nice if it did. At least would help us with our industrial output a tiny bit. There you go, another subject for the vassal swarm. And we can get some more rivals. I'm gonna get the Belgians, basically everybody that I can, with the exception of France and Britain, because I need to have good relations with these boyos. At least for the start of the campaign, we need to be on our best behavior with them. And I'm gonna do every single interaction I can do to lower the liberty desire of my subjects, including lowering the subject payment, which is basically a few thousand ducats. It's really not that much, but it can make a big difference for us. I'm gonna make all of them exempt from service too. So right now the Hungarians are on 0, which is better than nothing. Once we increase our army size a bit, we should be able to lower their liberty desire to below 25. Whilst I'm waiting for my infamy to go down, I'm also going to be attacking the Ottomans. I'm doing that because we can actually call in the Russians in this war with the war goal of liberation of Bulgaria. They really want, for some reason, to liberate Bulgaria, and I'm all for it. I basically want to liberate as much out of the Balkans from the Ottomans as possible. The earlier you do this, the faster the Ottomans collapse, and then it's just basically free real estate for us to subjugate afterwards in the Balkans. I could also return Thessaly to the Greeks. Why not? We can do that. That's another province the Ottomans don't get their hands on, basically, right? So it's a good thing for us. And I also want to transfer Wallachia to myself. It's only 11 infamy, and Wallachia is one of the most underrated states in the game. I mean, look at this beauty. Coal mines, iron mines, sulfur mines, lots of arable land, decent sized population. It is an actual paradise for building toll. And I'm going to also call in Montenegro by giving them the rest of the state of Montenegro. Why am I doing this? Because right now it's 10 infamy for me to grab the half of Montenegro from the Ottomans, and another 10 to grab Montenegro. But if I give it to Montenegro, it's actually cheaper for me to grab just the entirety of the state afterwards. So I'm just thinking for myself when I do this. I'm not as altruistic as you would imagine. We still have 30 maneuvers. What are we going to liberate then? Maybe we can liberate Albania. Screw it. Let's liberate. That's basically like 80% of the Balkans right there, actually. That's kind of crazy to see that we're liberating 80% of the Balkans in a single war. And I also love that by the time this war finishes, we're going to have so little infamy that we can continue expanding into North Italy or other parts of the world. Also, check it out. The Greeks are pulling their weight, man. The Greeks actually liberated Thessaly all by themselves. Damn. Not gonna lie, guys, I kind of like the fact that they're so overpowered in this patch, the Austrians. It's fun. It's basically the opposite of most of my games where I play Toll. This is just me playing super wide and at the same time making sure we don't completely collapse from the horrible events we might potentially be collapsing from. It's a thin line we're threading on, but it's a fun line for sure though. Okay, looks like because of our minor coup, we can lower the debuffs from Geheime Staatskonferenz and we increased the political strength of the aristocracy a little bit in the process too. There we go, though. We have done what we set out to do. We've liberated half of the Balkans. We still have a big chunk here that we need to give to the Serbians, and still parts that we need to give to the Greeks, which I'm assuming the Greeks will get from the revolution that will eventually trigger. If you guys haven't watched my Byzantine run, highly recommend it. Also, I'm changing to just landowner government because we have enough success chance to actually pass per capita taxation from the checkpoints themselves. Okay, I feel confident we can handle a little bit more punishment now when it comes to construction sectors, so we can start expanding that. We've got quite a bit of asset pool set up too, 400,000, not the worst. Also, all of our subjects are officially losing liberty desire at a pretty decent pace. The Transylvanians, Croatians already basically are ready for us to annex them. We just need to wait on the Hungarians now. Yay, per capita taxation, even more money. We're swimming in money right now, guys. You know what we're not swimming in? Homesteading. Let's attempt again to pass homesteading. This time we have a little bit more success chance for this because we got the peasant movement going too, and we are bolstering the peasant movement, so hopefully they're going to do their proper job here. Hey, what is that? That is promote national values in Bohemia. What on earth is Ludi doing? It's only Bohemia. I'm letting Moravia state check. Okay, I just want the Bohemian parts to be a little bit more German because we have already like 35% of them Germans. Why not make them the majority? You know what I mean? After all, Bohemia is an insanely overpowered state, so why not, bro? Come on. Come on. You know you want to do it. We're also going to need some construction to help build up our country a little bit faster. Hey, success! Let's go, baby! Please pass. I'm begging you. Remember what I said earlier about Montenegro? Check it out. It's 10 infamy to grab the entirety of the state. I love the fact that I can do that. Okay, so we've now maxed out the construction in our capital. Why did I do that? Is it better to max out in the capital than it is in Bohemia? No, actually Bohemia is 10 times better to do it in there. But I still did it in the capital. You know why? Because I'm a scumbag and I want to see if I can actually make the Austrian state like 100 mil GDP alone or something ridiculous, despite the fact that it obviously is not as good as Bohemia is, right? I just want to see Austria great again. Okay, let's actually establish this company now since we have it available. I have to say I'm surprised with the amount of companies that the Austrians have. It's almost as if this DLC was Austria focused or something. All right, boys, so we reached the point where we just have to get treaties with all of the German nations, guarantee their independence, power block embassy, investment rights, which allows us to build in those countries, because in a few years we're going to be merging with these countries into Germany. We might as well get some decent relations with them whilst we're at it. A really big one would be to get an alliance with Hanover, because then we can just invade through Hanover into Holstein, Schleswig. Also, I need to renegotiate one of my treaties, namely the starting Holy Alliance treaty with the Prussians. Cancel the defensive alliance from this so we can actually start the situation against them to unify Germany, and we can replace it with, say, military access. That is actually enough. We want to get military access from them. We probably could get that to 95% chance. Please say yes. There you go. They did say yes. So now, whenever we have 30 fervor for South Germans, we are ready to invade and make Germany great again. Guess in the meanwhile, I can just continue to get good relations with everybody else around here. And there you go. We are starting the invasion into Denmark. We can call in a little Hanoverians, and that means we have a direct border with the Danes, so we don't need to do a naval invasion, which is actually one of the worst things because we only have 5 ships, so it's not going to end very well for us, unfortunately. We definitely would be struggling if we were to do a naval invasion. For some reason, almost every single test run I had, the Brazilians join on the side of the freaking Danes. I have no idea why. It's so random, but I mean, as you would expect, it makes absolutely no difference. It's still extremely easy to just march through the Danish lands. It's historical too, because when it actually happened, it was both the Prussians and the Austrians literally ruffle stomping through the Danes. Now we do have some massive shortages of wood, so where I'm gonna get my wood is in Hungary itself. We're gonna spam a lot of logging camps in Hungary so we can lower their liberty desire a little bit faster. With the Schleswig question now figured out, we can also become a unification target. Let's go ahead and incorporate Schleswig-Holstein and get a few more admin buildings because we're missing a couple. Now we can also get a few more construction sectors. The next state that I'm going to build up is, of course, Bohemia, right after we build up Austria. Oh, we can invite Hanover to our power block. Don't mind if I do, actually. For that matter, we can invite Baden also to our power block, and the Bavarians. So we've taken a few nations from the Zollverein, that's for sure. We've taken quite a few nations from the Zollverein, and I'm certain we can take even more. There you go, boys. We also got homesteading, so now we can focus on some other legislation. I'm gonna be a little bit ballsy, and I'm gonna try my best to get cultural exclusion. If we manage to actually pass this, we would have the entirety of Europe available to us, so we would have a lot less issues with our subjects within our realms. It's literally the next best thing right after multiculturalism. Hey, South Germany has awakened. Let's go. Okay, that means we're gonna be able to form Germany in a couple of months then. Exactly a couple of months. Holy schnitzel, I'm great with mathematics, clearly. You could call me a mathematician. Now, despite the fact that I can start the unification play, I'm gonna wait for a little while as I need to get better units. Right now, we still have line infantry. The Prussians have skirmishers, so despite us outnumbering them, if the Russians join on their side, and they're very likely to join on their side, then we're gonna lose, and we do not want to lose, do we now? We're also gonna need some more artillery for the war, so we're gonna recruit an extra 40 artillery pieces in the main army too. And because our truce is also basically over with the Ottomans, we're gonna do another war against them. This time we're just gonna go for Moldova and whatever else we can liberate here. We can also call in the Russians. Hold on a second, I just saw something. The Prussians joined on the side of the Ottomans. This actually might end up on our favor, like actually end up in our favor big time. We might be able to just weaken Prussia a ton in this war, because we could add some war goals such as liberation of Westphalia, and heck, we can even add unification leadership in this war as well. Let's go, baby. This is freaking huge, man. This is actually huge. Also, these scumbags actually started supporting my separatists. You little shit. Here you go. We got a secondary company too now. I'm gonna try and go mainly for the unique companies. So this is another unique Austrian company. Textile mill throughput, power plant throughput is actually insane, and we can give them investment rights. They don't have an extra industry. It just affects the motor and the tooling workshops, but the bonuses are completely different. Power plant throughput, like what? All right, let's focus all of our soldiers on the Prussian front. We also just managed to get skirmishers, so we should be on par with them. We are gonna need a few more ammunition plants though. Oh god, I just realized we don't have ammunition plants. Oh god. We're importing all of our ammo, brother. This is let's give some subventions for import at least. You might have noticed we also don't have any conscripts. I'm not gonna recruit any conscripts. We do not need it. We can easily win this like this without conscripts. There you go. We got their capital already. It is freaking Jover, Prussia. We have won. It is kind of expensive though. We're in a little bit of a hole here. Maybe we could pause construction time temporarily. There we go, boys. German leadership, which means we've unified with all of South Germany. I probably should have liberated Hohenzollern, because then I would have gotten that too, but I mean, it's okay, not the end of the world. And with German leadership comes great responsibility, as you would imagine. Let's check if we can form Germany. So to form Germany, we need to get all of these bad boys to support us. Right now, about half of them do. The ones that don't, I'm gonna just get super good relations, some treaties with them, and eventually they will also support my ascendancy to the greatest nation ever. Let me get the nations I just released as well. There we go. I forgot to give investment rights for that one. Feels bad, man. Another thing to point out is that when we did form South German Confederation, or unify South German pops, we also unified with Transylvania, because Transylvania is a South German primary culture nation in this game. It is not a Romanian nation. Keep that in mind. Now let's continue to push in the Ottoman Empire. We do seem to have some shortages of paper. What the hell was happening in South Germany? Were they like just on the worst production method or something? Oh man, this is huge though. We got the best part of Germany. Like, I'm not even kidding. Look at this. Bavaria's got a ton of population, and look at the resources, dude. This is crazy. Franconia too's got insane resources. All right, we won the war, so now we can get ready for the unification with Hungary and Croatia. I'm a little bit surprised that we failed this though. I mean, we haven't failed it yet, but I'm like 90% sure that we're not going to pass cultural exclusion anymore, which kind of sucks. I was kind of banking on that a little bit. Oh, look at that, boys. 0.30 every week now for the Hungarians. Saxony wants to join my power block. Yes, of course. You're more than welcome, sir. In fact, let's do that for the rest of the German nations that we just liberated. Let's actually ask them to join our power block as well. GG's, boys. Cultural exclusion is done for. We have failed it. So let's try racial segregation. Maybe this one's going to pass. Hey, we're also below 25 liberty desire for the Hungarians. So that means we can do integrate the crownlands. Boom shakalaka. Austria. That means we got rid of Croatia and Hungary. So we've doubled in size, literally doubled in size. We do have to incorporate these lands, unfortunately. So that kind of sucks, PP. Technically, what the devs want you to do is to go for the dual monarchy, which is the historical thing to do. But I'm just a scumbag. I don't want to share power with anyone, okay? It's mine. It's all mine. Okay, now that that's done, we can start expanding again. First off, I am just going to go ahead and I'm going to annex as these little Schnitzeldorfs. That's another one done for the age of Metternich. To fill this up, we got to have as many of these points done by the point when Franz Josef is either 18 or is Kaiser. Right now, Franz Josef is 16, so we got 2 more years to get the rest of these done. Cohesion is not difficult. We could increase that easily. Members 12 is also not difficult, and producer of fine art is, again, not very difficult. Let's change the production methods first off, and I guess we could also out-click and spam a few extra art academies in Vienna. I'm doing the world a service here by making Vienna the ultimate art industry, okay? Trust me. I cannot explain, I cannot tell you why, but you have to trust me. It is vital. Let's also lower the Liberty Desire of, or better yet, make puppets out of Switzerland and Wallachia before we get more subjects. Now, the first subject I want to make is the Pope, actually. Why? Because eventually we're going to form Central Europe, and when that happens, we can just integrate them also with the click of a button, just like we will the rest of the North Italians. Kaiser of the South Germans. Interesting. Yes, I am. Yeah, that's me. I really hope this war starts, because I really would like to annex Montenegro. Montenegro can actually be such an annoying little Schnitzeldorf in the Balkans, especially with their whole raiding mechanics. It just makes them super annoying. Oh god, I just realized I'm paying 200,000 in military goods prices. We need to get some more arms industries. That is not okay. That is actually really not okay. Let's get, I don't know, 7 more for now, I guess. There you go. Montenegro is finally completely under our control, and it is an incorporated state, so that's pretty good. And we also got the Pope. Now we what are we gonna do with Mascara? We're gonna accept the white piece? Of course we will. There we go. That should fix all of our issues. Now we have 8 million principal debt because of this war, because I didn't realize how bad my military situation is, so we're gonna have to focus on that for a while now. Oh my god, finally we got munition plants. Yeah, this is what was killing us, this and the lack of guns. Kaiser Ferdinand von Habsburg Lothringen abdicates. Hornor! That means it's time for the age of Metternich to end. Metternich retires, and we get a buttload of different bonuses for the next 10 years. And voila, we also have Resiol Sagrakonos. So let's check this out now. We've got a lot more accepted pops as consequence. Look at that. Romanians are at 45 acceptance, which is a huge difference. Poles, Hungarians, they were at like 5 or 15 before, which was basically no acceptance pretty much. The difference with Franz Josef is that he is a part of the petite bourgeoisie, so we have a very big change in our policies now. First off, we can go away from crownland diets, which is disgusting, and we can either do elected bureaucrats or appointed. I'm just gonna go ahead and go for elected bureaucrats. If I can pass this, that would be perfect. The Austrian Revolution. We can enable National Guard, right of assembly, universal suffrage, or we can send in the army, or we can compromise on universal suffrage. You know what? I'm gonna do it. That's actually a really good idea in my opinion. Universal suffrage means we're going to be able to do some legislation that's going to benefit us very much so very early on. This also triggers the relics of a bygone age, and we have the Red Autumn journal entry and I guess mechanics, I guess you could say now, right? Seeing as we now have a parliament, if we keep ourselves as a monarchy for 10 years, we get the Kaiser and parliament journal entry finished, with the possible effects being constitutional order, 10% legitimacy. We can become a beloved figurehead for the Kaiser, or we can get political movement pop attraction for any royalist movement. Now, I'm of course gonna try and heavily focus on the trade unions, because we might be able to pass multiculturalism and a lot of amazing laws with the trade unions. We are gonna have to go back to wealth voting next from universal suffrage, because unfortunately we have a massive revolution. The only way to get rid of said revolution is to make sure that we go for wealth voting. That should de-radicalize the absolutist movement, and we only are left with the radical movement, movement. The radicals are better than the absolutists. Trust me, these guys are the worst. Oh my god, this is the most French thing ever. The French joined on the side of my revolution. Are you kidding me, France? You little shits. I don't want to waste units on that front though, so I'm just going to defend on the French front. I'm just going to push on the Romanian front. The revolution has been vanquished, guys. It's been vanquished. We can enact again censorship, secret police, or autocracy, and 25 legitimacy, or the people. Okay, hold on a second here. That's the exact same. We don't have an option. We have to enact it. I said as we're about to enact wealth voting here. I'm going to say it, man. Out of all periods of time to be alive, this was probably the worst one to live in Austria. There we go. Got rid of the Wallachian revolt. Now, just to point out, guys, if we want to get rid of the matter of Hungary easily, we established a dual monarchy, and it's done, okay? That's the easy way out. The easy way. We're not doing the easy way. That's why I started incorporating this a few years back. We're doing it the hard way. Oh no, they've got on a revolution. That is not acceptable. Not in my kingdom. Are you kidding me? The French joined again on the side of the revolution. You little schnitzeldorfs, man. I'm gonna so attack France after this. Like, I'm done. I'm done, France. I'm gonna attack you little shits. More nations to add to the power block. Just what I like to see. Seeing as I've got very low infamy, I'm gonna be attacking into the Balkans now. First Bosnia, then we're gonna do Bulgaria. Oh, they backed down. Another regular day in 1800s Europe, which means another world war, basically. Where this time we're fighting the Prussians, and the Russians have joined on their side. So we got one army on the Eastern Front, which is going to be defending. The other army is going to be pushing. So we grab the war goals in the West. We're essentially trying to get a few states so we can unify Germany later down the line. We're going to be taking Rhineland, Brandenburg, Hohenzollern, Ober, and Niederschlesien. So, and we're giving Brandenburg to Saxony, actually, which agrees to merge with us. Basically, we're getting an extra state without having to pay the 20 infamy for it. That's just using that big bad boy brain right there. And yes, we're also releasing Danzig, of course. We already are starting to drain the manpower of the Russians and the Prussians on the Eastern Front. I'm not going to do anything until Russia actually pieces out. They should technically peace out at some point. They don't really have any actual war goals. They only have a change regime in Saxony. I'm sure they don't really care about it that much though. Another huge thing for us is that we're passing right to associate. We had before the guild system, which lowered the qualifications by quite a significant amount. With right to associate, we also get radicals from political movements reduced by 10%, which is a huge deal, especially when you play as Austria. And we're also close to getting rid of our debt, so I think it's time we get some more construction sectors. Maybe another 10 in our main states, or 15 should be okay for now. I'm also going to start developing construction sectors in the southern bit of Germany, and I wanted you guys to see something really cool right here. Check out our cultural makeup. The state of Bohemia has officially more South Germans than they have Czechs, and we also managed to grab the capital of Prussia, so it is basically over for them. Now it's just a matter of waiting for them to peace out. I have to say it's surprisingly easy to form Super Germany as Austria compared to whereas we got an achievement. Oh, wait, what? There was an achievement for us to grab Silesia? Huh? That's crazy. I didn't know that. I mean, to be fair, this is the first time I ever play Austria, on stream at least, because I know it sounds messed up, but this game's been out for like 3 years and I haven't played as Austria. Could be the little Romanian me that kind of didn't want to play as Austria, but at the same time, it is such a powerful nation. I don't know. Hey, I'm playing it now, okay? Whatever the case, I'm playing it now. Russia wants a white peace. You know what? We shall take that. Thank you very much, sir. Pleasure doing business. Look at that. Saxony is nice and plump now as well. Wait a second. Danzig is... No, Danzig is literally just that tiny little... It's not the entirety of Danzig? That's so messed up. I didn't know that. I never actually released Danzig. I always thought it's the entirety of the West Prussian state, bruh. So I was wondering why I'm not able to do Matter of Hungary considering all my states are incorporated, and then I realized that I forgot to incorporate Unterkarten, and now I just have to wait for another 6 years before we click that. Bro, this is just the worst ever. Hey, look at that. We actually overtook the British already without even forming Super Germany yet. You know what I think our people really need, guys? It's education and healthcare, okay? So getting public healthcare should be a priority for our amazing nation full of freedoms and love. That's what you get when you spell the Austrian Empire, okay? Now, you know what else you get? Not enough construction sectors. We need a lot more construction. No, not there, because we haven't integrated that yet, actually. Let's do Bavaria, all of them in Bavaria. Let's max out the ones in Bavaria for now. We gotta cancel the ones in North Silesia. Oh, we got the Kaiser in Parliament. Hell yeah. We get to do a toast for the diet, which gives us 10 legitimacy for 10 years. And absolutist political movement will be replaced by royalist movement, which is slightly better. It's actually a lot better. Yeah, actually royalist is like 10 times better because absolutist really just wants the worst legislations imaginable. We also can stop bolstering the peasants. We've been bolstering them the whole time. I forgot about that. Also, I'm realizing slowly that I just never ever have enough bureaucracy, do I? I actually also really love the fact that you can change the laws in your power block members. Even though they're not your subjects, you can still ask them to change the laws. That's a nice little feature in my opinion. I don't normally play as an ideological union, and I was like half thinking about just disbanding this and making a trade union or something else, or a sovereign empire. But you know what? I'm kind of enjoying it. Jesus Christ, we're scaling up so much now. I don't know what to do. I just need a lot more construction sectors. I guess we can go up to 1,000 at this point. Yeah, look at this. See, without even super Germany, and we are crazy overpowered as the freaking Austrians. It's insane. This is literally why I haven't actually played. Like, it's just too easy, man. Like, usually your main limiting factor is the lack of population, but as Austria, you start with 60 million around already, and then you end up getting 30-40 million more from the rest of Germany, and another 30 million from Italy and the lowlands and everything. It's just insane. I'm also cleaning up the borders of the HRE now, in the sense that I am making puppets out of all the little HRE nations that do not want to join me. That way, a lot of these have actually the attitude of either disinterested or wary. If that happens, they might not actually want to unify with us. But if we make them a subject, they're going to become aloof, and that means they will want to unify with us. So check this out. Valdek, which should be this one here, was not going to unify with us. But after we puppeted them, there you go. Now they have 90 relations, so they are okay with us unifying with them. So we're going to do the same with all of these. They're actually really tiny nations usually that do this. It's kind of annoying. So here, for example, another one, Lippe, is 2.4 infamy. Super worth it, obviously. We add humiliation, so they're going to 100% back out of this. They got minus 115, so there's zero chance they will actually fight against us. Because we're not a trade union, they do request market control. Otherwise, they completely die off since they don't have any way of reaching our market. Okay, let's see who else we need to invite here. We can already form Germany, by the way, but I want to get all the nations actually before anything. So we're missing who? Little Mecklenburg and the Northern Schleswigians. Okay, Little Mecklenburg should be easy. Attacius Maximus, please join us. Okay, everybody, it's time. It's time we clicky as the button. We can form Super Germania. All hail the Kaiser. We get claims on all the other provinces, which we don't already have integrated, so that means it's over for Prussia. We're coming for them. We're coming for them hard. We also get German unifier trait for our leader, which gives us extra authority, or we can make our pops loyal. No, we're gonna get the authority, of course. All right, so this is what we look like right now. Absolutely cinematic. What? Frankfurt, you little shit. Oh, man. All right, so I liberated Frankfurt because we have a claim on them. So when the truce is over, I'm just gonna kill them. The disappointment is massive, okay? The fact that they did not agree to merge with me is just very disappointing. Same with these guys here in Schleswig. We still have the claim on them, so we're gonna have to lower the relations so we can attack them. We tried our best. They didn't want to be our friends, so now they're gonna be our little food. Now, as Austria, we have the unique journal entry for the 17 million Reich. This is a very big debuff. Why is it a big debuff? Because all options suck. First option is we release an independent Hungarian country, Croatian country, Polish country, Italian. Second option is we release them as puppets and we get 43 or 42 infamy. Third option, all the great powers have minus 30 relations. We get 70 infamy. All of our minorities get 20% radicalism, but we get to keep all that we just took. So yeah, we're gonna go for the third option. Of course, obviously we're not losing anything to these little Schnitzeldorfs, but now we have 90 infamy, so we cannot expand for the next little bit of time at least, you know? We need to chill for a while. That also means we're gonna have to reorganize our armies here. We're gonna have to get some strong armies, and that also sucks because it means our 8 Hungarian homelands are gonna have way too much turmoil now, so we have to wait a little bit longer unless we establish the dual monarchy. I guess that's also an option still. Now the thing is with this, the biggest issue issue before was that we could not form Germany whilst the dual monarchy persisted. However, we already are Germany now, so that's not an issue anymore. This sucks a lot because I was just about to attack the Prussians because it's very cheap to grab their states right now because of our claims, but we just have to wait for quite some time now. I'm gonna have to improve relations with some nations. I need some friends. I need any friends, really. Maybe the British. I think the British are the only ones I'm gonna keep as friends. Oh, the Confederate States have appeared. Ayo! That is the first time I see them appear this whole patch. I haven't seen them at all this patch. Oh, we got another achievement. Biedermeier. How many achievements we're getting this run, man? This is crazy. These are definitely new, right? As Austria be the #1 producer of art and furniture. That's 100% new. Okay, it's a good thing we have 4 setbacks now because we actually got 2 failures, so I'm kind of happy. We might be able to pass laws a little bit easier with our ideological union too, I guess. Oh, let's go. Laissez-faire, baby. Okay, it's over. We're gonna scale like insanity right now. We got nothing else to do anyway, right? Since we're waiting for the infamy to go down. Now, it might seem like we're doing really great, but we have one major issue that really plagues us. We're making too much money. No, I'm kidding. That's not the issue. That's true. We're privatizing a buttload, so we're making a lot from privatizing, but that's not the issue. Also, yes, we're making 700,000 in reinvestment, so we need a lot more construction sectors. But the issue is that we don't have dividends tax. We need to get proportional taxation or graduated taxation, or we're just wasting our time here because we need to tax the private sector. We're not taxing them at all. I'm gonna try my best here to go for graduated. I really will pray G it passes. If it doesn't pass, we got more of a chance of passing proportional, but graduated would be the ideal one for us to get. Also, what the hell happened? Why do we have so much shortage of bureaucracy? What on earth is this? Hey, now we can also get that company I wanted to get at the start of the campaign and actually forgot to do. So yeah, now we're gonna get that construction sector throughput. Yay! Awesome, guys. Would have been even better if we did it from the beginning, huh? Also, did you guys notice that we actually have new uniforms now? Like the Austrian generals have proper Austrian uniforms. Same for the Romanians, which I find really surprising and pleasant. Like the Romanians have historical Romanian uniforms. I think it's the same for all the nations in the Balkans, which is a massive W in my book. I am, after all, a filthy Romanian, you know, and I like to see my Romania get some flavor. It's totally a Romanian accent, in case you're wondering. I guess that event where you get 70 infamy is kind of a counterbalance to the fact that it's a lot easier to form Super Germany as Austria compared to Prussia, which is literally impossible. Oh my god, I just realized we could switch to steel frame production method. I completely forgot about that. Okay, we're approaching no more turmoil again in the Hungarian states. We managed to get cultural minority movement below 25 activism. Okay, that was actually a lot easier to pass than I expected it to. We are again making 750,000 in reinvestment, which is insane. If you thought my infamy was pretty good, well, yeah, it was pretty good. Now we're back up to 99 because we're attacking the Prussians, and it could have been less than this, but if I didn't make all of their states' primary demands, I can guarantee freaking to you they would have backed out of this war, because nobody, and I mean literally nobody, gives a schnitzel. Nobody's joining on their side. This is a bit unfortunate. I was actually thinking about making a protectorate out of the Netherlands because they're not a major power anymore, but the problem is Prussia's more important than that. We can do Netherlands afterwards. I'm also kind of worried that the Russians might just munch into what's left of Prussia at any moment. All right, let's go. Easy war. This actually was probably the easiest out of all the wars I ever had. So look at that, boys. Beautiful Super Germany back on track. Let's make sure we incorporate the Posen. The rest of this should be already incorporated as we had claims on it from before. Now we actually have a really good start. I mean, we genuinely managed to get Super Germany, and it's only 1870, right? So now we can start going into the lowlands. We can start munching into France, destroying France, starting to fragment Russia and adding them to the future states of Europe, right? And same with the Balkans and everything else, Italy and so on. I also don't want to make this video super long though, because it's already been quite a little bit. So if we get, say, 3,000 likes on this, I will get a second part out as soon as possible. If we get 4,000, I'll get it out the next day. So if I see this video when I release it getting a lot of likes, I'll work on editing the second part. Hope you guys enjoyed this. If you did, don't forget to also leave a like and subscribe. Love you all, and I'll see you in the next one.